they're like me, like I'm not going to make something the same exact way that I did the other, made another piece. So
Yeah,
for
like I guess every artist does have like their signature, right? Like, their you can tell, a lot of times a different styling or different whatever. But at the same time, we do try and get as close to the original as possible. We
yeah,
really, we really do. And sometimes we can be exact, but but not necessarily maybe on the organic pieces because they're not really supposed to be.
right.
They're made organically, right? They're not
That's
like
exactly
yeah,
right. It's not like it's a cookie cutter mold where I'm like, Jennifer, I need 100 of these. And then in that case, if it's like a specific, it's not an organic piece, then I would expect them to be pretty similar, right? Because,
right.
but this is different. And now that we have them made, I think that is more likelihood, even though the stones will be a little bit different. You guys will have the actual mold, or I'm not sure how it works, but yeah, I would assume.
But I think,
Um,
yeah, most importantly, it's like what I've found, through working with everybody is that it's the more we get to know you and your style and your aesthetic and all that, the more pieces we make for you and the more, time we spend with you, the easier it gets for us to understand or get what you're trying to do. It's like just any kind of
yeah,
part, the first time is can be a little bit more difficult. And any like with you, we had some difficulty sourcing the rough cut stones at first, but now that we've moved the process, right, it's pretty like we'll know what to do next time. And
yes.
yeah,
And
and
that's part of the, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
so and I think for you that was a learning curve for us too, just because what you were doing was different. You wanted rough cuts, you wanted them a specific color and size, and we went through some, I guess sometimes it's hard, for us, we have to go maybe to a few different manufacturers before we find a match. But with you, it's like we had to go through a few different like stone sources, before we found the perfect stones, which I feel like we did because this last piece we made for you. Can you show us? Are you wearing
Yeah,
it?
I'm actually wearing it. It's the
I
one
would
we,
be too.
yeah. And I get so many compliments on this, the raw blue topaz. People are like, oh my God, that's raw. And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, it's
It's
gorgeous,
beautiful.
and it's so bright blue. It's just it turned out. Even I was like surprised actually. When you
Yeah,
sent me pictures, I was like, okay, now that exceeded expectations. It turned out gorgeous.
yeah. And it was larger than the other one, but I ended up loving this even more. Um,
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, it's interesting. Now, if it were to be with a custom order client, I would have to be more careful about like it being that much different than the vision. But even in that situation, I would have to sit down and say, hey, listen, this is our vision.